You're listening to the Absolutely Cosmic Podcast.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Absolutely Cosmic Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything self-improvement from the nerdy perspective. I'm your host, Joshua Salgado, and this is the co-host,
Dylan. I wasn't ready for that.
And honestly, this segment, I think we're just going to be talking about whatever we want to talk about. Whatever comes to mind, we're just going to freestyle it like Lil Wayne.
All right. Yeah, freestyle.
Having some fun.
Hell yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
If everything was always the same, then everybody would get bored.
Exactly. So, well, before you hopped on when I was like FaceTiming you, so just to give a little like audience, just to give you guys a little preface of what happened, me and Dylan were talking on the phone about both of our social media work, like everything we've been doing the past few weeks, and just like our ideas. We were just like shooting the shit, and we're like, Dylan's like, hey, we should just do a podcast right now. And I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I was just, we were on the phone for, I don't know, hour and a half. I was like, we've been talking for so long. Well, this could have been a podcast in itself.
Yeah, exactly. We could have had a 2-hour podcast of just us. Like, we talked about a lot of cool stuff too, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I mean, there were some points where we were doing other stuff too, and we were kind of just like in silence, but like there was a good portion where we were just like talking about a bunch of stuff. So
yeah, definitely. So we're gonna bring it back to the actual recording. I think the conversation we left off on was like, I had this idea today, and I reached out to a Redditor who got, I think it was Kevin Eastman, which is one of the co-creators of the Ninja Turtles. He had a really small podcast, and he actually requested and asked to have Kevin Eastman on his podcast, and he actually came on.
Oh, so yeah, that's what you were saying. So we gotta try and get some other people on here.
Yeah, so I reached out to that guy. I was like, "How did you do it?" He's like, I literally just emailed them on like the public email that he had, and was like, "Hey, this is my podcast. This is what we talk about. If you want to come on, I'd love to have you," kind of thing. And I was like, "No way." I was like, "That works." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Honestly,
that I've heard of that happening like for other people. Like I've heard of some. I mean, they're bigger YouTubers and whatnot, but people ask like, how did you get this interview, or how did? And they're like, I literally just sent them an email, and they responded, and they were like, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, which is sick.
You never know what'll happen. You just got to find the right email.
Yeah. Send it to some random scammer.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get when you're looking up somebody's email, but
yeah, that's true. But I would say I feel like having someone like Theo Von would be hilarious as shit.
Of course.
Theo Von, I would love to have Theo Von.
Any comedian.
And who else was I thinking about after that? I feel like you would really like this too, because we're both Star Wars nerds. But Adam Driver, I feel like would be really cool to pick his brain about. With everything with the sequels that happened, how
he said he would never do another Star Wars movie again.
Yeah. I mean, and with everything that happened with the sequels, like how shitty they came out, it'd be really cool to actually have him on the podcast and be like, hey, what was going through your mind? What was your mindset for actually the character and stuff? Because Kylo Ren was probably one of the coolest characters.
I think a lot of the actors did the best they could with what they were given.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think the actors did a bad job. I think the production did.
Yeah, I 100% blame the production, and
Kylo
I blame
Ren's a dope character. Yeah, I have him tattooed.
Exactly. So Adam Driver, if you would like to guest appear on a podcast, we would love to pick your brain and just like see the deep thoughts of who Kylo Ren was. Who Kylo Ren was.
I don't think you understand the pun I made, but okay.
What'd you say?
The reference, not pun. I said good soup.
Good soup.
Have you seen that?
I love that meme.
Okay, you've seen it.
Yeah,
it's like
good soup.
I don't know that's the only clip I've seen from that movie. They're like having this like very deep conversation. It's like a depressing matter, and he just takes a bite of the soup and then just like slams the spoon down and just goes, "Good soup."
That dude's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, that's
I'm surprised
what I mean.
He doesn't get any more like roles, because he can play a lot.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. I just don't think they're like as big titles as Star Wars, but like the stuff he's been in have been good movies, and
that's true. Yeah,
He always does a really good job. You probably just, I mean, I don't keep up to date with movies. The last movie I saw was in 2021. So it's been like 3 years since I've been to the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Like through all this Oppenheimer Barbie shit, I didn't go. It was Spider-Man No Way Home, the one with all three Spider-Mans.
Didn't we go out, all of us go out? Or was that, it might have been with me and Madison, but we went out and I'm sorry, I'll admit, I
think I might have went with you. It was so long ago, I can't remember who I went with.
Yeah, I know I went with somebody else, and I was like screaming when, spoiler alert, the movie's been out for like 3 years now, but like when the old Spider-Man came through the portal, and I was like,
came out. Dude, I remember when we used to work together, I'd always walk into your office to check on you, and what are you doing? Watching Spider-Man every
Yeah, I literally, so again, preface, so I worked for Dylan like when the pandemic started, and we were doing construction design. I don't even know if we can say this because NDAs and shit, but
we can say that.
Well,
your NDA is up already.
Oh yeah,
it was 2 years. You left the August or further before that than I did. My NDA is up in May.
Okay.
But I know what I can and can't talk about. I can't say what buildings that I designed, like what companies. But there's certain ones I can, certain ones I can't.
Yeah.
But once the 2 years is up, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Building design, like CAD, structural stuff, for a lot of big name companies, like certain companies you guys have probably heard of, other ones that are a little bit smaller, like local companies. I myself designed over 100 buildings there. Josh was working under me for a while.
Yep. And that's where watching Spider-Man every day. I will say that cubicle was sick as shit though, because I had like desk space
with a big desk. Then you got an office next to mine.
Exactly.
You got the office next to mine.
It's pretty much a damn office.
I liked my corner office.
Yeah. Well, like I would watch Spider-Man every day. I would just literally put it on in the background.
All three of them.
Yeah,
like
over and over
again. The day's
again.
8 hours. The 3 movies combined was pretty damn close to 8 hours.
So any of the Spider-Man
with Tobey Maguire,
if you want to be on the podcast, I would love to have you on too, because I love seeing the memes of you just like yelling at the paparazzi and stuff. So it'd be sick to have you on here and be like, get the fuck out of the way.
And that's the thing. He has every right to do that.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's great when people are like try to call him an asshole for it, because it's like, no, he's just trying to be a human being, and you guys are preventing it. And so, of course, any normal person would get mad at that.
Exactly.
Get out of my fucking way.
Yeah, like you think he wants to be like constantly berated, and it's not like it's kids or anybody or like teenagers.
It's like paparazzi adults, like people trying to get pictures and stuff of him
to make money off of it, and like press and like magazines and shit. And it's like stupid.
But yeah, any of the actors from that movie, they would be good on the podcast. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
That would be between having like someone like Adam Driver or like Tobey Maguire on, that would be like, I would geek out, dude. I would be like a little kid. I'd be like, holy shit, you're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a super fan for Spider-Man. Sam Raimi, dude, that's an awesome. I would love to have Sam Raimi, the director, on. These are like dream casts. These are like dream podcasts. Yeah.
He played Green Goblin.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe. Have you seen the he has these like model photos, and there's one of him with his legs spread and he's like bent over.
What are you into?
No. You haven't seen him?
No.
It's literally like he's like it almost looks like he's like riding the Goblin glider like from the movie, but it's like some kind of like fashion or some sort of like, artistic like photo shoot, and it's black and white, and he's literally like look it up. It's actually hilarious because everyone's like making freaking videos of it. We'll have to like put a pop-up on the screen for this for the viewers.
Photo shoot. Oh, maybe I have seen. Yeah. I'm not going to do a pop-up, but I'm not going to turn my camera and show it because it'd be, you could probably edit a pop-up in easier.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just a little pop-up. But like, what? I mean, I don't know. That's just like, do you think like the directors of the photo shoot, the photographers were like, hey, we want you to do this? Like,
Oh yeah.
or do you think
Oh
he
yeah.
came in
This
and
is
he was like, I got
choreographed.
spice? What?
This is choreographed.
You think so? You don't think it was from his own, like, I got something up my sleeve? Like,
It could be. I'm looking at
I got something to show you.
There's a bunch of photos throughout time that are like that with him. So it is possible that he just does weird photos.
I mean, legit, I will say that's got some heat on there.
Yeah, I'm looking at a bunch of photos and some of them are interesting.
Yeah, there's like one of him kicking.
One of him doing a split.
Yeah.
A bunch of him like bent over in different ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, Willem Dafoe's a good ass actor though.
Oh, for sure.
Again,
yeah,
dude, I like geeking out about actors and actresses because like some of the things that they do for roles and shit, like it's wild.
Who's the guy that played Christian Bale, Batman?
The Machinist, and then he went to play Batman Begins, and he gained like 80 something pounds.
And then
right?
he did American Psycho. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I know. But how does he, like, my question is, how do actors like that are able, like, and those were all within a year or two of each other. Like, how do you just get in the mindset of essentially different people?
Do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
What?
The line. That's a fantastic movie.
Oh,
he goes on a killing spree over. Basically, it's supposed to be a satirical comedy type, but also like a thriller. So
American Psycho?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've seen clips.
Okay, so he's like a lawyer or a businessman, something like that. Businessman. And there's like a meeting with a bunch of different executives or whatever, and they're like comparing business cards, and they're basically trying to just show how materialistic the world was becoming at the time and like consumerism. And it's only gotten so much worse, but like they're just trying to be satirical about a lot of things. So basically the main character ends up becoming like a serial killer over the fact that one of his colleagues has a nicer business card than him.
Really?
That's
the reason why?
That's basically how it starts.
God damn.
And he goes down this path, but he ends up calling his lawyer and basically telling him, like, I did everything. Like, I've done all of this. But long story short, like, the way it ends, he ends up getting away with all of it just because of, like, it's just, you gotta watch it. It's funny. But there, like, he has the first guy that he kills, he has him come over. And he's like, right before he kills him, he's like, you like Huey Lewis in the News? And then he just like hits him with the axe or something.
God damn.
It's like, it's great. It's a great movie.
Jesus.
But yeah, basically he goes on a killing spree. It all starts because of business cards.
That's insane. Again, kudos to Christian Bale for being freaking insane.
And then like, yeah, The Dark Knight Rises, both are fantastic movies. Heath Ledger, you've got to give his own round of applause to.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
He fantastic actor. He did great as the Joker. It's just too bad he died.
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he took the role very seriously and you know, it took it to very heart, you know, affected his mental health and stuff and what he was already probably struggling with in real life. But like,
and then we had Tom Hardy as Bane.
Yeah, Tom Hardy was an excellent bit. People give that movie so much crap, so much shit, but that was a phenomenal movie. I enjoyed it. It's a superhero movie, but it's still, you know.
I felt that it was a little bit harder to follow than The Dark Knight because like I had to watch it 2 or 3 times. I feel like to really catch everything. Like that was a movie you had to like, and I feel like with all of those Batman movies, like you watch them a few times and you really get them, but like the one with the Joker in it and whatnot, that one you could just see right off the bat, like one time, like this is fantastic acting. This is fantastic all the way around. You might miss some details, but like, I think that's where there was a difference is it was hard to live up to The Dark Knight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like Tom Hardy did a great job. Like he was almost unrecognizable as Bane, you know, like, but, it's kind of hard to live up to what Heath Ledger left with the Joker.
100%. I mean, the thing is too, is like Heath Ledger's Joker it's still a comparison. Like, he is the baseline. Like, you have Jack Nicholson, right, who was a phenomenal Joker for the time, but like Heath Ledger is the Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix did an excellent job in his own right. But you still, like, I don't know, there's something about
another one with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me look it up. Joker 2.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Joaquin Phoenix was excellent. Like, that movie was so, it just makes you uncomfortable and makes you concerned. But Heath Ledger, I don't know, there's some kind of magic behind it. There was not one moment where I felt like that was a movie. Like, I felt like I'm following a superhero or super villain. You know what I mean? I was like, this is now, dare if I say, a monster, like like borderline terrorist, like character. It felt real. It felt like, and it made Batman feel like he was engaging an actual real threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Joker 2, I'm going to botch this because it's in French. Folie à deux. I don't know. It Folie A with an apostrophe over it and Deux. That's the name of the movie.
Full do.
Look up Joker 2.
Yeah, let's look it up. I wonder what it's going to be about, though. I heard that it is a sequel.
Harley Quinn's in it, and it's Lady Gaga.
What? Margot Robbie's an excellent Harley Quinn.
This one takes place in a different universe, though, I think. This is a different Joker. One does? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, because it's like a more gritty, like, I hope it's good. I hope Lady Gaga can do a good job. I think it will be.
Lady Gaga's a good actor.
Yeah. And then you have Barry Keoghan, who's the Joker for the Batman?
Huh. And then Jared Leto did it.
Yeah. I'm not too big of a fan of Jared Leto's.
I'm not a fan of him as the Joker either.
Yeah. He's a good
musician. So, I don't know what I've seen him in. I haven't seen him in anything other than like Suicide Squad. And I thought Suicide Squad was not a great movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was a good Joker. I mean, it doesn't mean I hate him, but I haven't seen him in anything else. He's what's his band?
Who?
Jared Leto's band.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's a popular band. He's actually really good. He's the singer.
Yeah, well, I know he's a great musician, and he's a great actor too, from what I've seen. But like when they casted him for Morbius,
30 Seconds to Mars,
I was excited because Morbius. Oh, what?
30 Seconds to Mars.
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
Isn't that how he got famous initially, though?
Yeah. He's like the singer. There's one song they have that. What's it called? Jared Leto does guitar and vocals. His brother does the drums.
Okay.
The Kill. That song is really good.
Really?
Yeah. And then I haven't seen him in any movies. I didn't like him as a Joker, though. Joaquin Phoenix is probably my second favorite, but you can't beat Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger is phenomenal.
Method acting. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Method acting.
Yeah. Dude, that's a legit thing. Like, I don't know. I took an acting class once, and I mean, I feel like that's the most mainstream, but like they were talking about method acting and how like bad it can be for someone like a role like that for Heath Ledger or American Psycho even, right? Those roles can really kind of affect you. You know what I mean? If you're not mentally strong at that time in your life kind of thing, where you take it so personally that you become that character and you start, I don't know. But like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like method acting it's so like well known, but I feel like that's where a lot of these actors who end up, taking their own life or passing away from drugs and alcohol, most of them I feel like are method actors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yes, definitely. I was just going to say something that I just recently found out. You heard how Matthew Perry from Friends died?
Yeah.
He died. He ended up drowning after he took ketamine.
Really?
So he wasn't sober when he died.
Oh,
like
damn.
A lot of people were saying. But apparently the reports found that he had started going to, they have ketamine clinics. You can go and they'll give you ketamine in the clinic and you get high for however long it lasts. And then they let you go home. And it's like a type of therapy. There's like actual scientific research that shows that it helps people with depression and stuff. So I'm not dissing it in any way. But I guess he had been doing that. And then he must have started using ketamine recreationally outside of the clinic, because they found amounts in his system that were too much for when his last appointment had been. So they determined that he was under the influence of it when he died. And it's a horse tranquilizer, so he probably took some ketamine and passed out in his hot tub, and then because he's unconscious, that's why he drowned.
Yeah.
So that's sad. But a lot of people,
it is.
They were he had been sober for a long time, I guess, or a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Well, it's just a tragedy too. And I feel like, I don't know, a lot of famous people, they kind of, I don't know, it's got to be lonely, because they can't just go out and I don't know, you could go out to the grocery store, shoot the shit with somebody and just they're just an average Joe like you. But it's anybody who has any sort of fame, they go out and
that's why some of them get islands.
Yeah. No. Like Stephen Hawking, the midgets.
He didn't. What?
I'm sorry.
He didn't know the island. He just went to somebody else's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did.
That's awful.
Do the math equations, please. Oh God. Anyway, but yeah. Oh, I'm terrible. Listen.
I'm listening.
I don't know. This world is crazy and there's a lot of evil people. But when you hear shit like that and it's Stephen Hawking, really? Motherfucker.
There was probably a lot of other people that you that went there.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I don't think the list that we got is the full list.
They're hiding it because there's too many government officials on it.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't doubt it.
There's a reason that it's not all public.
Yeah.
How can somebody get that much time in jail without any of it going public?
Yeah. Well, because it's a power play. It's
because they have to hide stuff. They have to keep stuff hidden.
Yeah. Well, that would be the ultimate dethrone of the world, essentially. Everyone who's in power of any sort who went there would immediately lose.
Because they've already proven that it's not just people from our country either.
Yeah, I know. It's
people way up high in Europe and other places.
Yeah.
I think it's Prince Andrew or something.
Yeah. It's just fucking, it's kind of scary though. It's I don't know. It's just evil shit.
Our world is full of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's a interesting place out there.
Yeah. But in other news, I want to do a quick shout out to all the viewers of the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Because we have been growing. And when I mean growing, I mean growing like a goddamn tree that is on steroids and stimulants like caffeine. Caffeinated tree that's growing like a horse. That makes no sense. But again, we're growing and we've been pushing out content for the past every week. And with this advent of having such a positive upswing of everybody who's listening, the personal people that I know that listen to every episode that comes out, I want to say thank you. In the past week, all you guys have reached out to me, but I just want to let you guys know it's not just me who's been on this team right now. It's kind of a team of two because Dylan's been my sound engineer and he's kind of been my, I guess, I don't know, you brainstorm with me a lot. Yeah. What? No, you help me brainstorm with thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah.
And ideas and things like that. So I appreciate your help. And our goal is to get to 20 episodes, which we're almost there. We have about, I think this will be the 14th one recorded. Once we get to 20 episodes, we're probably going to go to 2 episodes a week, and we're trying to get guests on the pod. So that's the key. That's why we're talking about Adam Driver and all those famous people, because that, even though that might seem unrealistic, that's kind of the goal. We want to have exceptional people telling their story, or just have an episode where we're all just shooting the shit. You know what I mean? Having fun. I'm talking about some weird stuff.
It's the good stuff. The viewers should let us know if they like when I'm on here or not. As the
yeah,
co-host.
100%.
If they like the solo episodes with you better, then
no, listen, those ones get way less views, to be honest. Anytime I've had any guest on, those podcasts have done a lot better and are much more responsive, which makes sense because me just being like, okay, guys, you need to do this with life and this is what life means. Like, that's boring. But when you have somebody else to joke around with.
Yeah, they're listening to a conversation rather than a lecture.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
Which I do think sometimes the lectures or the me just voicing, ranting kind of has its place.
But you can still do that. You can lecture me.
Yeah. Yeah. No. But yeah, I mean, I wonder. So again, comment down below, guys, if you'd be interested if we could set this up as a stream. I'd love to answer some live questions.
Oh, yeah, live stream. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and just see how many people hop on and like ask random questions. I think a goal would be is if we can get enough viewers on to have a call-in day where maybe once a month we'll have you guys call in and you guys can, be on the podcast for a little bit and kind of ask some questions, talk about something, say something crazy, whatever it is. Nothing too crazy because the internet's bad, but
freedom of speech, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 100% I agree with that. I think say whatever you want to say. The only people that my FBI agent's probably like, Jesus Christ, this guy's got an issue.
Oh, well.
I gotta give him work to do. I can't be boring.
There's probably multiple agents for the people like you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then the people that are boring just have one that's kind of like looking back at them like, all right, they're still not doing anything. And then they focus on you.
How to flush toilet. And it's going to autocorrect. Know that your FBI agent's listening.
How do you know?
Yeah.
If you have any electronic devices in your house, they're listening.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I say some controversial stuff all the time.
Yeah. I guess it's whether you mean it or not.
Yeah, no, obviously not. I think the world is so sensitive. There's so much canceling, I mean, I think we're too sensitive. Why can't someone make, I don't know.
People should
comedians
be able to
talk
make
about
jokes
the most
if they want to, no matter how racist.
Oh, Jesus, no.
I'm kidding. That's not okay.
No,
well, it can be. Depends on the audience.
Yeah. Well, referencing Andy Santino again, did you see the clip? I don't know what episode it's from, but you know the joke, it's like, I Bobby's mom.
No.
You've never
send it to me.
You've never seen the clip? The what? All right, I'll send it to you. Well, anyway, they got Bobby Lee's mom on the podcast. They wheeled her in a wheelchair, and everybody was like, Bobby mom! Screaming.
How did she react?
Here, I'll send it to you.
How did his mom react?
She was just smiling, and she's like, what the fuck's going on, essentially?
Are you sending it to my phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Or you could email it to me.
There we go.
3 business days, right?
The what?
I said 3 business days, right? Oh, see? I tried to watch it, and I lost the video.
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
I'm back.
There we go. Here, hold on. I'll try.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
You said it's Bobby Lee mother?
Yeah.
On podcast? Is it the episode 200? It's an hour and 10 minutes.
I think so. There should be clips of it, though.
Watching it, I can't hear you if you say anything. I'm just going to try and skip through it and find... Oh, there's his mother. Okay, I'm almost there. That's funny.
Hi, Bobby Mom. Hi, Bobby Mom.
Yeah, he kept saying it. He was like, hi, Bobby Mom. And then he's like, why are you in a wheelchair?
We should try to... Let's get Bobby's mom... Oh, Jesus. Let's get Bobby's mom on the podcast. Not Bobby Lee, not Andy Santino, just Bobby's mom.
We should get your mom on the podcast.
Dude, let's do it. Let's get both our moms on the podcast.
Sure. You know who you got to
get your dad.
No. You know who we need to get on the podcast?
Dude, your dad would be a hoot. Your dad would be awesome.
My dad is something else.
He'd be hilarious.
I know.
Oh.
I don't know if the world's ready for that yet.
They're definitely ready for Mr. Levesque.
You should try and get Fabio on.
He's actually TikTok famous.
For the meme that I made of him in 9th grade?
No, he goes live every day.
Dude, get him on. He's TikTok famous. We could use the support.
Dude, we got to get him on. He literally goes live every day. Okay, here's the thing. Whenever I see him live, I hop on. I literally type in the chat. I'm like, Fabio. I'm like, what's up? And like send exclamation marks. And he goes, Comic, what's up, buddy? He's like, and he thinks I'm the guy that works at the Verizon store near his house. He's like, I got a new screen protector. I'm going to upgrade my iPad soon, though. That was the last thing he said to me last time I was on. I was like, all right. Like,
he doesn't know who you are.
I'm just going with it until, because literally my page is Cosmic Absolute.
Respond back and let him know that he used to smash your mom.
No.
Why not?
Oh, that would be absolutely. That would be freaking.
That'd be absolutely
wild.
cosmic.
Absolutely cosmic. Oh, that guy he was a strange individual. Yeah, we got to get him on here. I'll work on that.
Do you still have that meme I made of him?
No, dude, I never. So when
Do you
that
still
happened,
have him on Instagram?
Do I have him on Instagram?
Yeah, you got to find that picture. I'll remake the meme.
Let's see.
That was a good one.
Let's see.
The laid back cop.
No, it's not on.
Now I want to look, but I don't even know how to find him.
Hold on, I'm seeing. He's probably live right now. Yep, he's live. Hold on.
What is he doing?
He's like, it's like karaoke, but he just says, "Let's go, guys, let's go," every 10 minutes. Hold on. Oh, he's singing.
That's great.
Let's see what he says. See, you hear that?
Yeah, are you going to dance too?
I need a lighter right now. I'm going to give him some likes. Honestly, though, he's living his life right now. Not gonna lie, he's living his life. He's having it good old time. Every day, though, like without fail, I will say that's some dedication. Without fail, he is live, and it's the same thing. It's like the mini games that TikTok Live does. Dude,
you should do that. Make sure you go live every day.
Dude, I went live when this semester started. I was going live almost every day, and I would do like a push up for every like, and I got to like 6K likes on one of my lives.
Did you do all 6,000 push-ups?
Dude, I couldn't. I broke. I could not. I got to like 300 something. I did squats, push-ups, and squats and push-ups, and I got to like 300 something, and then I was like, I'm broken.
You should do that thing where it's like one push-up for every however many followers you get.
Yeah.
See if you can build people that way, because there's a lot of people that are starting to do that, and they're getting there.
Yeah.
You should see.
Yeah, that'd be actually really cool.
Post the challenge. Like how many followers you at?
What?
How many followers are you at?
I haven't been paying too much attention. I think so on TikTok. Oh, let's see. TikTok's low. TikTok, I'm at 36. Let's see what Instagram's at. Instagram is 234, and then Facebook is, I think, 30 something. But it's also linked to my personal account.
If you do it for every 10, at first it'll be easy. Like right now for Instagram, you'll have maybe 20.
Yeah.
25, however many push-ups.
Yeah.
But if you get to 100,000, you now have 10,000 you got to do.
Yeah.
So maybe for every 100.
Yeah, because that would be insane.
You'll have a lot to do. But
hell yeah. Yeah, that'd be brutal.
Start off the challenge and just be like, all right, I'm going to do 10 push-ups for every follower.
Yeah. 10 push-ups for every follower.
So start off with 2,000 push-ups.
That's true.
And then see if you get any people that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Or try to think of something original. Jumping jacks.
Yeah. Or like, I'll drink a cup of milk for every 10 followers.
That's a lot of milk.
20 cups of milk.
Yeah, you're already at 20 cups. And if you continue to do it. A cup of milk for every 10 followers or 20 for every 50 followers.
Yeah.
So you'll start with like 4 or 5 cups of milk.
I could do that easily.
But then as you gain people, dude, I think that's your gimmick, the milk one.
Yeah. Milk.
Cup of milk for every 50 followers.
Exactly.
Post a video and just start it. Say, this is day 1. I'm starting with this many followers. So
I will drink a cup of milk for every follow.
I will drink a gallon of milk for every follower I get. Today we're at 235 followers, so I'm going to drink 235 gallons of milk right now.
No. That would turn me lactose intolerant immediately.
I think you would drown.
Yeah.
235 gallons, the volume of milk that is, you could fit inside of it.
I could fit inside 35 gallons?
235 gallons.
Oh, hold on. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, 235 gallons.
Now I can't hear you.
What do you mean? It shows it's still recording my audio. You can't hear me at all?
Well, I can hear you now when you get close to it.
Do I have to be close like this? Can you hear me here?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It went in and out a few times.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I hit the wire.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I hit the wire.
Yeah, 235 gallons. That's what I said.
200 and what gallons?
35 gallons of milk.
I can do that.
You can fit inside of that.
That's true. But
that would take up like volumetrically, that would be like 6 feet by 2 feet by like 2'6". I'm thinking about it in terms of a fish tank. You could literally fit inside of that.
Yeah, that's true. But like, as I'm in there, like if I'm sitting inside that tank of milk, I can drink it.
It wouldn't all fit in your body.
Yeah, but like as I'm in there though, I'm drinking the milk, so it's like I'm removing the milk.
Okay. You'll have to excrete something somewhere before it can all fit inside of you, though.
Well, yeah. Well, I got to drink as much as I can before I start like pissing and shit. Or I get like a tube or something.
A straw?
Yeah, exactly. Like a catheter.
He wouldn't be able to consume 235 gallons of milk. That's not possible. Just saying. That's too much for anybody in one sitting. Let's see where he went. Let's see if he comes back. In the meantime, I have no idea what to talk about. Basically, so far, he's been sending me the videos once he edits them, and then, all right, he's back.
All right, I'm back.
I had no idea what to talk about, so I was just rambling.
Oh shit! I was ambushed.
By what?
By the milk collectors. They were collecting.
Oh yeah, I as soon as you disappeared, I straight up told them you couldn't finish that much milk in one sitting. It's not possible.
I definitely can.
235 gallons.
Okay, well, what's the time frame?
One sitting. You got to be able to do this.
What if I sit there for a year?
You have to be realistic. You got to be able to post. This is supposed to be a daily challenge.
What if I just get like a waterproof GoPro and I have goggles on?
By the time you finish the 235 gallons, you're going to have an additional 235 gallons you got to drink.
Well, all right, give me 6 months.
1 cup per 50 followers would probably be reasonable.
1 cup per follower.
Let's just see all right.
I could definitely drink that much.
All right, there's 16 cups in a gallon. So if you had 1 million,
I would have to drink 20,000 cups, which would be 1,250 gallons.
If you had 1 million subscribers and you drank 1 cup per subscriber or follower, you would have to drink 62,000 gallons. 62,500 gallons.
I can definitely do that.
How much water can a person, let's type in milk specifically. Let's get really specific with this. How much milk can a person drink in a day? 3 cups.
That's I've drank like 5 cups in one sitting.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I have 2 cups of ice cream right here. This is a pint of ice cream, and it's going to be gone by the time we're done talking.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to have some yogurt after that. Adults should drink 3 cups a day.
Okay. So what if we switch?
How much dairy is too much? All right, I'm going to switch this to water because I'm just trying to think of volume. So the average adult needs about 15.5 cups of water for a man and 11.5 for a woman, they say. What is the maximum amount of water a person can drink in a day? Your kidneys can remove about 0.8 to 1 liters of water per hour. So theoretically, you could drink 20 liters of water in a day. This assumes that you drink at an even pace, though. There are cases of fatal water intoxication where the victim has drunk 7 liters in 3 hours or less. So if you drink 2 gallons in less than 3 hours, you're fucked.
Kidney failure. But I'm just built different.
Yeah, you're going to drink that much milk. 4 gallons of milk in a day would probably hurt you.
Yeah. I tried to drink a gallon once, 1 gallon of milk. Didn't end up very well.
Never tried.
What?
I tried to drink 1 gallon of water in a day. Got like halfway there.
Well, I feel it. Excuse me. Water, you have to definitely like train up to that.
Yeah,
milk, I feel like there's no training for it. You either have it or you don't. Like you mean to tell me like Thor Bjornsson, that strongman who's like 7 foot tall, 300 pounds. You mean to tell me he can't drink a gallon of milk in a day?
He probably could. I'm getting my dairy in.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's.
Calcium. So much calcium. My kidneys are made of diamonds. Netflix and chill. I thought that said Netflix and chili for a second.
It is.
Netflix and chili?
Yeah.
Like as in like that's Netflix and chilled.
Yeah.
I was about to say chili. Do you remember that time? Did you come out with us that night when other Josh, was with Olivia still, and they had the all-you-can-eat soup? So he ate 4 bowls of chili in one sitting.
He did that on more than one occasion.
You had the Homo habilis. So you had Ardipithecus, right? Africanus so you had Africanus. Oh, Jesus Christ. Africanus, and then you had Ardipithecus, and then you had Homo habilis, and you had Homo erectus. And then you had, well, you could really break it down to Homo heidelbergensis, and there's a few other proto-humans, and then Homo sapiens. But what's interesting is
I like the best.
What's your species? What?
Do you know which one I like?
What?
Acanthurus Achilles.
What's that one?
Look it up. I could spell it. Are you looking it up?
Oh, it's a fish. It's a tang. Dude, that's a cool looking tang. I like it.
Yeah.
It's like the orange is really cool.
I just got one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
So tell me. No, you're good. Tell me about these tangs though, because I think we talked a while back, and you're saying like they're called tangs, but some of them are pretty much like extremely different.
Okay, so they're called tangs, also known as surgeonfish, and they get that name because they have these surgical like blades.
Yeah.
Towards the back of their body, right before their tail fin. So if you look at like the Achilles tang that you probably just looked up, there's like an orange spot on its body right before its tail. And if you look at some pictures of it, it's not a perfect circle. It kind of comes to a point. You'll see a little line like that's darker towards the end of the point. That's where its spine is, and it has one on each side. Those are sharp, and it actually can like stab stuff and whatnot. That's why they get the name. That's where they get the name surgeonfish from, because they all have these like surgical like blade like spines towards the back. But this one specifically, it belongs to the family Acanthurus, which is similar to what like a dory would be. But this one, it's all black with like some orange spots on it, and it lives in surge zones mostly. So it like So a surge zone is basically where there's a lot of like clashing waves and stuff. So there's a lot of water movement and stuff. They love being thrown and tossed around throughout the water. They're very strong swimmers. But being strong swimmers, they actually tend to have a very weak immune system. So they're prone to disease, which can make them difficult to keep in the aquarium. Because if they get a disease, it's very difficult to get rid of it, for them to get rid of it. Like medication's not usually enough. So you got to be careful with them. But yeah, that's the most like our newest addition.
That's sick.
But you were asking, like, tangs are very cool because they're very, in the fish tank or even in the, like any reef in the wild, they're very utilitarian. They eat algae. Mm-hmm. So algae is something that's growing natural, especially in the fish tanks, like all over the place. So being that it eats algae, it kind of helps keep the tank clean. So it's good to have a good amount of algae eaters in the tank. Plus, like in a freshwater tank, algae eaters are usually like catfish, so you don't have much to choose from. In saltwater, there's a lot of different types and shapes of fish that'll eat algae, so you have like a nice wide array. And any tang or surgeon fish is pretty much going to be an algae eater. Some of them are better than others, like Xerosoma tangs are those, anything that's like a triangular type shaped tang. Those are really, really good. There's a couple other species that are very, very good too, but specifically those are probably one of the better ones. But yeah, all tangs are pretty cool. I mean, they live in reefs, they keep it clean.
Yeah, that's sick. I mean, like, I don't know. So I have a freshwater tank right now. I've talked to you about this offline too, but like, I don't know if I could do a saltwater tank. I just don't know if I have it in me. I was talking with Masson too, because I was like we've got,
if you can do fish only for sure. It's not that much extra. Like if you can afford the extra money for this to pay for the salt or for the salt water, if you buy salt and mix it yourself, if you can afford that, there's really not much extra work that you need if you're doing fish only. The extra care and difficulty mainly starts to come in once you start dealing with coral, because you have a lot more stability and pinpointing that you gotta work on.
Okay.
But you can do saltwater fish pretty easily. If you can have a successful freshwater tank, you can do saltwater.
Okay. So maybe that's because, so Madison, she's talked to me about getting a saltwater tank. She has a 10-gallon she wanted to convert. And I was like, 10 gallons is a bit too small because the how should I say that, the stability can wave really quick in a smaller tank, whereas a bigger tank, it's like diluted.
Yep.
I think that might be the best.
You're 100% correct. Bigger tanks, they're more expensive to maintain. Like if you have to do a water change, 25% of 100 gallons is 25 gallons versus 25% of 10 gallons is only 2.5 gallons. It's much easier to do a 2.5 gallon water change and only have to make 2.5 gallons of salt water than it is to do 25 gallons. Or if a fish does get sick, it's a lot cheaper to have to put in medicine for 10 gallons versus 100 gallons.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of medications get sold, some of them get sold pre-measured packets, and each packet's for 10 gallons. Yeah. And then you buy a box and it's the whole box treats 100 gallons. And sometimes you have to do that medication in 4 doses. So it's like if you have a 10-gallon tank, one box, you can do 2 rounds of the medication, all 4 doses, and still have half a round left, 2 doses left, versus a 100-gallon tank that does 1 dose. So you need to buy 4 boxes to get 1. So like that is where like a big difference can come in. And like, yeah, it's more stable to have a bigger tank, but you're paying a lot more money if you have to do anything to it.
Yeah.
So it's got its benefits and
pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons.
Definitely.
Like at work, I have a lot of big tanks. I also have a couple small tanks. The big tanks, after a while, they get stable. I barely have to do water changes, barely have to clean them. They kind of take care of themselves. I mean, I still check parameters and whatnot. If anything starts to go off, I intervene, but for the most part, they're stable. Where the small tanks, it's like I can check them, clean them regularly, and then 1 week, not even 1 week, just one day, something spikes. It's because one little thing went wrong, but because it's such a small volume of water, that one little change affected everything a lot more. It's not diluted, like you said. It's a dilution effect.
Yeah.
If a fish dies in a 200-gallon tank and breaks down, it might break down into so much nitrate but throughout 200 gallons, that might not be anything. But in 20 gallons, it can kill everything else.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's one thing. Like saltwater fish are dope. I would love to have. I saw one guy. I think he rescued like an octopus or something. I feel like this is crazy in itself, but he got it from like the beach, and it was just a baby. Like I think it might have like just hatched from the egg. It was literally like the size of less than a dime, and he put it in his saltwater tank, and it grew up in like it grew up fully. And I think he bought another one, and ended up breeding them. I think
That's cool.
Which was insane. I was like, holy hell, that's sweet. And like he would play with the octopus because those things are so smart.
They're very smart, and they usually try to escape tanks.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He had to put like he would put like snacks in a little jar and like let it figure out how to open up the jar to get into the snacks and stuff.
Yeah, you got to keep their brain you got to keep them busy. Otherwise, they're going to try to escape, and they will. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. I would love to do a jelly tank.
They're like the El Chapo of they'll figure out how to get out of any prison they get put in. Yes. I think you told me that.
Yes, I don't believe that anymore.
Anymore.
So that was a Joe Rogan experience episode, and I was just like, listen, like there's no way that a virus comes out of space, right? Lands on Earth, survives on a meteor, and then evolves into an octopus and is not immediately killed because the conditions are vastly different.
Yep.
And then like people like, I don't know, geneticists have found that they have the same genome as in any other animal on the planet. So it's like that's completely disproven because they would have a totally different makeup, like completely different than a typical Earth organism, you know?
How do you know that some other things didn't come from? Everything evolves into crabs.
Yeah, I've heard of that theory too.
No, that's not a theory. They've actually proven that there's so many different things, like they've put a lot of different things through different types of simulations, and like actually look, there's so many things that turn into crabs.
We're not turning into crabs though.
No, because people aren't evolving anymore.
We're devolving.
There's no survival of the fittest anymore with humans. We've gotten rid of evolution.
That's true.
Because like the technology, like it's not even like they've actually, there's enough technology now. They've kind of proven that like they've stopped evolution. If anything, it's just going to like, everything's going to like kind of start balancing out. But yeah, you're not wrong. Like we're allowing some of the weaker traits to survive because, you know, obviously nobody wants their kid to die.
Yeah.
So, and with the technology, there's a lot of things that can prevent a lot of people from dying.
Yeah.
So there's people that 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, there's a lot of people that are alive or have gotten to a certain age that they would have never made it there without the technology that we have today.
Yeah, it's true.
And then some of those people, not all of them, but some of them get to go on and repopulate, and then they're putting it's further, you know,
their genes.
It's not like necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, overall, our evolution, it's not like, okay, the strongest are surviving. It's just kind of like everybody's allowed to.
Yeah. So. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, just from a biological perspective, you know, like what's cool I've noticed is like the parallel between us and dog breeds now. Like, that sounds terrible, but like, because like dogs, they've bred them so much that essentially every dog of the same breed is almost inbred.
No, they've actually proven that they are.
So like that's why all these defects come out, and this sounds terrible, but that's why we have so many conditions nowadays.
Conan O'Brien is inbred.
Conan O'Brien is?
Yeah, they did a thing. He on his podcast, he said he got a DNA test done just to see, and he came back 100% Irish, like 100% Irish. And so he said to his doctor, he's like, so what is that? He's like, what does that mean? He goes, I've never seen this before, like never. And he's like, I've seen 99.5, even 99.8. I've never seen 100%. And Conan goes, so what does that mean? And his doctor looks at him. He goes, it means you're inbred.
He's inbred.
Just like straight up told him that.
Yeah. So, have you seen, I think it's the Whittaker family. They have a really good documentary. It's actually really sad, but it's a family that was created. They were all inbred. So like one of the guys, he's like old. His eyes go in two different directions. and he like barks to communicate, and he's like disabled, and they're all mentally or physically disabled to some extent. Like, it's really sad, and they're super poor. I don't know what state it's in.
Yeah, the more
I don't want to say
inbreeding,
it's Alabama.
the more inbreeding that there is, it's like any recessive genes. It's like that's why you don't want to inbreed, because if there's a disease that's recessive, your kids are
Yeah.
more likely to have it become a dominant trait.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so
that's why, like,
if there's brother and sister, they're more likely to both have a recessive trait than just two random people.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is like, that's why, like, if you're breeding any sort of animal, like any pet or anything, they always say to have like biodiversity. Cause like, even I have mollies, and they like fish mollies, and they breed, they have a little colony. My girlfriend does too. And every now and then we'll swap some males and females. And even then we're probably going to have to, take some out, bring them back to the fish store, and get some new ones if we want to keep our colony fresh and healthy. Just because you keep breeding the family over and over again, the same related blood genetic line, you're again, like what we said before, where that's where all the conditions and issues start coming up. And I mean, we see it with dogs too. Like German Shepherds have bad hip issues because of that show line inbreeding, where they just breed so much that there's some sort of relation, or some sort of that recessive trait keeps coming up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I missed part of that because I started reading something. I apologize. I heard the recessive traits do keep coming up though, but yet because of inbreeding.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, yeah, like, because like when you like breed any animal or pet, they always say, like, I was saying how I have like a Molly colony.
Oh yeah,
Molly
I heard the
colony.
Molly colony. I just missed the between Molly colony and the end.
And I was just saying, like, that's why German Shepherds, especially, or any really shepherding dog, have like hip dysplasia, hip issues, and arthritis. Because
my mom's dogs are purebred English Mastiffs, and they tend to get hip issues and stuff, hip dysplasia. The bigger breeds, and then any disease that they can get because of their breed, the more you breed them together, the more likely it is to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I think with any animal, it's not good to do purebred.
Yeah, 100%. And I have a purebred Australian Shepherd, but I don't. I mean, he's healthy right now.
I don't know if my cats are purebred. Who knows?
Yeah,
they're cats. But one of my cats does have eye issues, so who knows?
Yeah, but that could have been factors from when it was a kitten, like if it got hurt or whatever, infected.
Both of her eyes, she had some disease. Her eyes were scarred.
Oh, really?
So they removed one of them. The other one she can't see that well out of, but yeah, they're good kitties though.
Hi, Bobby Mom.
She runs into my legs all the time. I'll just be standing there and I hear bloop, 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 and then right into my legs.
Yeah.
Dude doesn't know I'm standing there.
Poor thing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other one likes to climb me. If I pick him up, he'll like crawl up and like stand on my shoulders, and then like
really
spin around and curl up on my neck, and I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? That's but yeah, I mean, I don't know, circling back to a totally different topic, Joe Rogan, his first episode.
I'll have to watch
anyone
that.
Who's listening, I implore you to go to Spotify and put a filter for the oldest episode, and you'll see that his podcast, this is no shade at Joe Rogan, but he started in 2009. And it was very, very simple. It was like him and I know his second episode had Abi Shafir in there.
Ari Shafir's hilarious.
Ari Shafir, yeah. But it was literally like they had this like old webcam, and they were just like, Joe Rogan was he definitely was just like going off about some sort of conspiracy theory. Like there was no grace to it like he has now. There was no skill to it. Not shitting on Joe Rogan. I love Joe Rogan. I'm just saying, like, he came from really cool beginnings. And to anyone who's listening, because I have a few of my buddies who want to start a podcast and want to start doing some stuff, just start. Like, I have a website, and I can send you a link, but get a Zencaster. If you're going to pay for any subscription, just do Zencaster and put it on YouTube, and just make a bunch of episodes with you and the boys, or cover articles or whatever it is that you want to do. Just start making it and refine it as you go. It doesn't need to be perfect, right, Dylan?
Yeah, that's it. If you're trying to make it perfect from before you start, you're never going to start, because you're going to be constantly trying to tweak things. But if you just go and then you look at it and you do it like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes like we were just sitting, like we said before, we were just talking and we said,
Yeah.
let's put the podcast on. So you know what? We're just winging this. But
Yeah.
we're going to be able to go back and look at it, and there's going to be people that comment and they'll tell us what they like and don't like, and we'll be able
Yeah.
to see what we like and don't like, and we're going to see what works and what doesn't work for
Yeah.
us. Right?
Exactly.
Like this setup right now, it's working for us, but we might want it to look better or to do something. So we'll make changes over time. But if you try to make it
Yeah.
perfect from the start, one, nobody has the capital usually to start things perfectly, because everything that you do, you're going to be like, oh, I can do that better, or I can do this. And before you even get something out, you're going to be wasting all of your resources on trying to make it perfect.
100%.
Right. You got to just focus on what's important. And that's like getting your message and content out, and then work on the quality and just like improve it as time goes on. Right. You can always learn from what you do and make it better.
Exactly. And like, even if you have the best equipment, the best guests, like, again, if you were friends with every celebrity and every person you'd ever want to have on, even if that's the case, there's no guarantee that you're going to be this like overnight success. Like, that's not what happens. So if you just get started for the sake of getting started, for the sake of doing the project or goal, and like you said, fix things as you go. If the audience or the viewers or, the community that you build want to see something different, then do something a little different, change it up. If you know that, like, when you have a guest on, you struggle with introducing them or concluding the episode or whatever it is, then focus on trying to articulate and get better at articulating. If your camera's crappy or your mic is crappy or whatever it is, then focus and do the research and slowly fix the pieces as you're going. Because again, I've listened to podcasts who are like technically not this brilliant thing. And even there's a guy, I don't know what his name is. It's something Matan. He's the Bill Clinton kid. He has his own podcast now. He was a meme like a year and a half ago. Have you seen the Name 10 Books kid?
Nope.
He goes, Name 10 books.
No.
Well, he was a meme, and then he started his own podcast now. And it's not like it's this like technically advanced, like super high definition. The audio's pretty good. It's actually pretty good, but like it's nothing crazy. And I think he's had a few of his professors on and a few friends and people, a little bit people here and there. And he already had a platform, but he's growing. He's doing it every other day. He's posting something. So it's like, just start. And just, if it's you recording in the car, like I was live streaming on Instagram before I even we started this. I would on my way to the gym, and I'd just rant after I'm highly caffeinated. And it's like, just start doing something, and you'll fall into the spot you're supposed to be. Don't worry if you're afraid or intimidated by the process.
You can't force anything.
Yeah.
Right? You try to force it on people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just gonna come across as
pushy
and fake. You want to be authentic, get a nice flow to it, and have it go naturally.
Yeah, and have fun. I mean, like,
exactly. You gotta just figure it out as you go with the flow.
Yeah. I mean, in what world, in what generation can you literally get out of work and have your own damn radio show where you could talk about whatever you want? Just have fun with it. Who cares if you have 2 listeners or 200,000 listeners or 2 million listeners? Like, just have fun with it and just, take it, run with it,
Especially with this type of content. The people that are listening, they're the people that they usually are listening because they enjoy what you're talking about. So like, or feel like they can get some knowledge from us or from you guys, whoever's doing it.
Exactly.
So like, again, like he was saying, if it's only one person listening or 100 million, it's like there's going to be somebody that likes what you have to say and is interested.
Yeah. There was this guy at the gym in the sauna, and he does like, he'll resell vintage clothing, which is kind of dope. He would go to like thrift shops and find like basically like band t-shirts, or like if it was like a Nintendo t-shirt or like a superhero or like whatever it was kind of pop culture-y, or like I think what they call it now, meta kind of stuff. And he would resell it online. And then he had an Instagram page where he would just post about it. And he was like, yeah, having a bunch of numbers, having followers and stuff, it's kind of like a currency thing. It's kind of like it makes you more important. And I was like, and this was when I was starting the podcast. I was like, I don't even think I had Zencaster yet. I might've been still just doing live on the Instagram and TikTok. And I was like, well, yeah, I said, but if you only have 10 followers, if you put 10 people in this sauna, it's going to be a tight fit. I said, if you only have 100 followers and you put them in the men's bathroom, it's a tight fit. If you have 1,000 followers and you put them in the gym, it's still a tight fit. So it's all about perspective.
Yep.
And it's like if you can help or entertain one person, I don't know, that's a win. And if you're having fun doing it and you're
exactly
talking about things, why not?
Exactly. And you said something in there that I kind of want to loop back to. You said the word, you said meta. What when you said that's like a new thing, what did you mean by that? Like a new term?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm a little older at school now, but like all the kids were like, I don't know. It was like some girl or something the other day. She said something about like, oh, that's, you know, kind of meta. And I was like, I think that means like cool or like pulpy.
It means like currently top tier.
Okay.
And
so
it actually, from what I understand, I believe it comes from playing card games such as Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like Magic the Gathering. Like,
okay.
I know in Yu-Gi-Oh, they used the term meta for whatever the top tier decks were at the time. They were always changing ban lists. So current, like whatever the meta was like the best decks.
Okay.
So like when I was doing Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, you usually want to use a meta deck, like whatever's popular then, because that's going to be the best.
That's the current game. It's like it's broken essentially.
Yeah, exactly. It's the current best.
Yeah. That's interesting. You know what's interesting?
Then Facebook took their company and made it called that. And then I think like the actual term just started catching on to more people. But that's at least, I don't know if it originated in the like playing card thing, but that's where I originally learned it, was from my Yu-Gi-Oh days.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard it the other day and I was like I felt old because I was like, excuse me? Like I grew up on dope and sick. That meant top tier. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
That's dope. That's sick. That's, and a little bit of rad, but rad was even.
Oh yeah. Those terms, like I definitely know understand those terms and stuff. Like that's so dope. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, that's so sick. Like that's what we used to say.
Like
now it's
meta was it's like an official term for at least in the card games.
Yeah, I think now it's probably a little more of a slang, or maybe she's just weird. Maybe she plays card games, but like that's also funny too. It's like now the nerdy stuff, like card games, and I mean, like look at anybody like Gary V. If you have you ever listened to Gary Vaynerchuk?
I think I've heard of him. I don't know.
He's really cool, but he was talking about like Pokemon cards and stuff on his podcast and like social media and stuff, and like he's a big baseball card and basketball card guy. And he was just talking about that. He's like, this is where like the thing is like now people, instead of, you know, people are using that as an investment, but now it's like rather than potentially, you know, going online and having to have this strict internet, again, going back to what I was saying, like this internet persona, people are just being authentic and they're talking about nerdy stuff or things they enjoy online. And that's what's in, you know what I mean? Look at me using all these slang, but that's what's popular. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's dope. Like, could you imagine just you connect with people from around the world because you like Pokemon cards, or you like a certain video game, or you like Marvel comics or collectible action figures or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm going on a tangent, but it's like,
no, dude, I'm listening to you, but I'm also reading about meta. There's so many different meanings and uses of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about card games.
Yeah.
Entertainment. It has so many different meanings. Sorry. There's so many different that, like when you search meta and there's a Wikipedia just for it. It can be used as a prefix. It has 4 business meanings. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 computing meanings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in entertainment. Language, there's a couple different things. There's 2 different meanings when it comes to people. When it comes to places, it could be a district. There's also multiple places called meta. There's Meta Department in Columbia, Meta River. There's like a bunch of places named it. There's 5 different meanings of it in science and technology. There's other uses of it, and then there's like 8 see also pages. And these are all just different possible meanings of it. And each one has their own Wikipedia page.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't know where she got that from. I don't know where that, because
I'm pretty sure it still has that general, like, over when it's just being used as like, oh, that's meta. It's basically saying like that's cool, like, or that's great. That's like the best.
Sick. Yeah.
You know, that's what I was saying. Like in terms of the card games too, it's like this is the best.
Yeah.
Like it's cool, it's great, whatever. In as a prefix, it's Greek and it means beyond.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So yeah. So that's where the meaning comes from. But there's a lot of other like places where it can be applied.
Okay, that's interesting. Isn't that cool? Isn't that funny though? Like how over years, like each generation has their own little slang of words like that, and it becomes something new. Yeah.
Do you know what jargon means?
Yeah, like their own.
Yeah, jargon is like
slang.
Professional slang.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
professional
jargon.
slang.
Slang a dang. Dang.
Yeah. Damn. I just realized this podcast is an hour and 45 minutes so far.
Yeah, I know.
Plus we were on the phone for like 2 or 3 hours before that.
Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, nerd out right now.
I gotta check, dude. My basement flooded. My Yu-Gi-Oh backpack got all wet. I gotta see if my cards are okay. My basement keeps fucking flooding. There's nothing I can do about it. I got the sewer line kept backing up, which thank God that didn't really get on my stuff because that was sewage. Yeah, it didn't flood too badly, but I finally got that fixed, and then my sump pump broke, and then with all the snow melting and stuff, the groundwater was coming into my basement, so I had like an inch of water over my entire basement, but that was just rainwater, so it's clean at least.
Yeah,
it's not shit water.
Yeah.
But I got that cleaned up, but all my stuff that was in the basement got wet, so
yeah,
sucks.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, everything from my childhood's down there, so it's okay.
Yeah. Do you have a sump pump down there yet?
Well, I replaced it. I got a new one. I installed it myself. It's kind of just rigged in there. I got to order some new parts.
Yeah.
Home Depot doesn't sell quality stuff that like you could use. It's like for a check valve, it's like rubber with hose clamps. I can buy a PVC one and I'll just PVC glue it together.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. You want something a little more durable. You don't want to freaking...
Yep. I want to do it right because they didn't even, like the sump pump that was in there. I realized once it went bad and I started pulling everything apart, nothing was glued originally. All the fittings, they just stuck it together and left it.
Yeah.
So even if I glued what was there, it would have been better. But I'm just going to replace most of it because I already replaced the pump with piping. It's like a straight up and it goes pretty much straight out the house. And it's not even like glued in place or anything. So I can literally pull the old pipe right out. It sucks. It's bad. They did a bad job, but the house is old. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, eventually.
At least I knock on wood. My basement shouldn't flood like that again.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
So, damn man, we got a long podcast here.
Yeah, I know. This is almost a 2-hour podcast.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I don't know if we should post the whole hour. We got to edit this. I feel like there's a few conversations there's a few things we could cut out.
I just want to say, I think that's all we have for today. Thanks for having me on as the co-host. I'll make sure to be more active as the co-host because I know since my first episode, I haven't been on a single one since. But yeah, we'll keep this going. And Josh, I'll let you close this out.
Yeah, thanks all you guys for listening. I'm Joshua Salgado. This is Dylan Levesque, and we are the host and co-host of the Absolutely Cosmic podcast. Tune in for next time. Please smash the subscribe button or the follow button on whatever platform out of the 14 that we have, everything except for a potato.
Or the like button.
Smash that.
Peace.
Thank you for listening. Consider absolutely smashing the subscribe button for more content like this.